Good evening. I'd like to welcome everyone to the City of Dalton Mayor and Council meeting of Monday, February 16th, 2026. The time is a few minutes past 6 p.m. A quorum is present. This time I would like to ask Mr. Parker to lead us in the pledge.
Flag, United States of America, to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Council members, you have before you an agenda. I will entertain a motion.
So move. I second that.
I have a motion. I have a second. Is there any discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. This time in our agenda is for public commentary. I have 2 comment cards. If there's anyone who wishes to speak, the comment cards are at the back. I would invite you to pick one up and quickly get that up here to us. But we'll go ahead and get started. I have 2. The first one, Mr. Gomez, Luis. Hey. If you'll come, please, sir, to the microphone over here. That way it's recorded for our minutes that we have to keep record of. And there'll be just a little button to hit and it'll turn green. Mr. Gomez, you have 3 minutes, but that's our policy. I'm not gonna stop you in the middle of completing a sentence or a thought, but if you'll try and keep it to 3 minutes, please, sir.
Hey, my name is Luis Gomez, and I recently just applied for a liquor license, and the city turned it down because there's a limit on the license. So therefore, I've been going with this back and forth for 8 months now. So I'm just trying to figure out if there's going to be anything we can do about it, or all my investment is just sitting there.
So, Mr. Gomez, it was last summer. Was it August?
It's been.
It was close to when we did. It was the hearing that we did a moratorium to suspend several types of business licenses while we updated our ordinances.
Yes, and it's just this license I've been having to go back and forth, getting everything ready for it, and it's been turned in, but it got denied because of the cap on it. So
okay, what I would invite you to do is if we can meet with you after the meeting. It's a very short agenda tonight. If you can wait, and we'll speak about the matter then, if that's okay.
Okay, yeah, that'll be fine.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, the next card I have is Ms. Williams. There you go. Ms. Williams, the same thing. We'll in no way cut you off in the middle of a sentence or a thought, but if you'll attempt to keep it to 3 minutes, please, ma'am.
Yes, I am not prepared tonight, but thank you for allowing me to speak for my 3 minutes. What I'm going to kind of talk about is I'm going to go back in time when I bought a convertible Camaro. And I loved that Camaro. I took the back seats out of that Camaro and I put big subwoofers in the back of that Camaro. Man, that thing would rock. It would boom, and it was so much fun. But I can guarantee you, if I pulled into the Home Depot parking lot and I was jamming that loud and a policeman went by, that they would stop me. They would talk to me. I would either get a warning or I'd get a ticket. Something would happen due to those subwoofers being that loud. Now, I love, love, love my cars, and I'm going to date myself. Back in the 80s, I used to love to go dragging Maine. It was so much fun. We went around that horseshoe, we'd park, we'd sit on our cars, we'd talk, we'd have such a good time. But it got to the point that it was a burden on the city. They were using their police force. There was evidently too much trash. They banned us from being able to drag Maine. We couldn't do it anymore. We teenagers had nowhere else to go. But now we have a social club downtown that is causing a lot of resource problems downtown. We're having to call the police. This weekend, they had a 12-member band, trombones, tubas, clarinets, trumpets. It was so loud you could hear it 300 feet down the street at 12:30 at night. They were warming up at 12:10. My residents they just can't sleep. I just don't know what to do anymore. So I'm here stating that what I would love to see is maybe some patrol. If you can see a trombone warming up in a parking lot, maybe stop and say, look, we can't do that. That's going to be too loud. That's against our ordinance at 1210. We can hear it past 100 feet. So I'm kind of asking, instead of constantly calling and saying, because by the time they come down there, I'm going to be honest, I'm tired. I've worked all day. My tenants have worked all day. We're wore out. And we're having to police this situation. The police are coming, they're talking to us, they're giving me a copy of the ordinance. I'm reading the ordinance, I understand the ordinance, and they're doing the best they can do to be fair to both parties. So at this point, I'm just going to ask council if there's any way that we could have some sort of patrol in the area. Thank you for hearing me.
Thank you, Ms. Williams. Our chief of police you may have spoken to him before, but I'm going to encourage you. Sometimes we don't have a comment that we can make back that's helpful or indicated, but I think we try to, give some kind of a response. Is that following up with our staff is the best encouragement that I can give you about what you're suggesting about asking for extra patrol. So after maybe it's making an appointment with law enforcement to speak with them, but we appreciate you taking the time to come and talk to us. Okay. All right, we have another comment card. I think if this is a K, this is going to be Mr. Sheik. Did I pronounce your name correctly? Okay, great. If you'll go to the microphone, please, sir. And is again, around 3 minutes, if you would, please try. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. It's my first time at one of these city council meetings. So here recently, I was informed about one of the ordinance that's being passed or is being discussed here in the city about vape shops and how their city's planning on or thinking about putting a cap and maybe taking the licensing fees up to $5,000. There's a little bit more information to that I don't have it off the top of my head, but just wanted to tell you guys that I'm one of the vape shop owners in town, and I've been in business for a little over 5-6 years now, and we do our best to make sure that we are compliant with everything with the state, with the federal government, with the city, with the county and whatnot. It's been an amazing place, Dalton, Georgia, to conduct business of all sorts. The city, that everybody has made it very easy for us to acquire any kind of information. So I wanted to appreciate that. But again, going back to the cost of the licensing and whatnot, we would really appreciate, speak on behalf of the vape shop owners, as hard as it's been with the economic situation and just the way our business is being taxed. We, from state, from federal government and whatnot, different types of taxes have, made it harder and harder to operate any small business, let alone my business. So I really, really request you guys to look into that matter. I know other states and other cities have done something similar to where they've kind of taken vape and a liquor store and kind of combined the licenses and whatnot. But their fees, yearly fees, weren't as high as what is being proposed here. I don't know if I was a little bit late today, so I'm not sure if that's today's agenda or not, but wanted to make sure that that just wanted to communicate that from small business of Dalton. That's all.
Thank you for your comments. We have had a first reading of our vape ordinance, but it is not on the agenda tonight. So there's still, we appreciate your comments because they're timely in how we're contemplating, thinking about what that ordinance will look like. So your comments are helpful.
Or is there another meeting of at a different
So we
time?
publish our agenda online prior, as was required by law, prior to, each meeting. So we publish on Friday afternoons and we do sometimes have called meetings, but we have to publish that.
Gotcha.
So I'm not certain when, in probably later March, we're probably looking at. I would not anticipate it, but it would be a citizen's responsibility to check our city website, but we do very clearly publish, and maybe on other platforms, not just our website, but we are required to publish the agenda. Okay, thank you. All right, are there any other comments? If not, we will move on to the next item. Staff reports. Are there any staff reports?
We do. Madam Mayor and Council, Margaret Thigpen with the Director of Tourism has an update and a video to share with us.
All right, thank you.
We'll try again. Thank you. So one of the complex conversations that the Convention and Visitors Bureau really has when we're out in our community and with our stakeholders is we don't actually build any infrastructure, but what we do is absolutely impacts our economy. So without further ado, I wanted to kind of share with you a video that we've had developed to kind of tell our story a little.
I walk in, unnoticed. A quiet presence slipping through the door of a cafe downtown. A smile greets me, a menu unfolds. Just another face in the crowd. I order, and oh, it is good. Each bite reminds me of why I came back to Dalton. I see you, but you don't see me. I thank the server, step outside, and fall into the rhythm of this town. A store catches my eye. Need any help? Just looking, I say. A small purchase, a smile, and I'm gone again.
I came for a girls' weekend and found my new favorite place.
I'm in town for my child's travel ball tournament.
You may never know my name, but I'm here. We're here. Drawn back by the food, the live music, especially under the stars. The whispers of history echo and the pulse of a place that feels alive. Last year, we spent $168.2 million in your community. Visitors, travelers, explorers. You may not see us, but you feel us in the echoes we leave behind. We return home, but we leave a piece of ourselves here. Through the moments we create, the tax dollars that help your community grow, and the experiences that linger long after we're gone. You may never see us, but we are always here.
So that's just an idea of what we do and how it does impact our community. And like she said, you may never see them, but they are in our community. I've put in front of you a summary of our 2025 numbers. Convention and Visitors Bureau is on one side, the Convention Center is on the other. And I will tell you that we've seen an increase in revenues. We've seen an increase in visitors. Our hotel motel tax is one number that is less than where it was last year. And I can say that the Hampton Inn closed, and that represented about 83,000 in hotel motel tax collections last year. So that's definitely a deficit that we see from last year's combined hotel motel to this year's. We've seen increase in visitors on all of our platforms from social media. We've gotten over 68,000 views on the day in Dalton that we put out working with an influencer. But we've also seen an increase in numbers and visitors at the Freight Depot, at the Tunnel Hill campus. And then we've also seen an increase in rentals of the trolley. All of that is captured on the sheet that I've put in front of you. On the flip side of that, the Convention Center set records this year, over $2 million in revenue. And then it also impacted the community, the tune of about over 3 million, meaning that the reason that those people were in our community was because of the Convention Center. Now, obviously, our other economic impacts are Dalton Parks and Recreation and Whitfield County Parks and Recreation. And they definitely impact that economic impact of 13 million as well. So I just wanted to put that in front of you, answer any questions that you might have. Thank you for your support, and we look forward to continuing to build those relationships and bring those visitors into our community.
Questions or comments? Thank you, Margaret.
Thank
This is-
you.
It's nice that you always come and share good news. So that's great. Thank you. Thank you. All right. And it looks like there's a lot of progress with what was the Hampton Inn. So looks like it's coming along. It'll be nice to have that back online. All right. Does that conclude our staff reports?
Does.
Okay. Council members, you have before you minutes of the council meeting of February 2nd, 2026. I will entertain a motion.
So move.
Have a motion.
I second that.
A second. Is there any discussion? If not, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, under unfinished business, item number 3, second reading ordinance 26-03, the request of Whitfield County Board of Commissioners and the City of Dalton Mayor and Council to make proposed amendments to the Unified Zoning Ordinance text to add the definition for, quote, biohazard waste, biological waste, and hazardous waste, and to update the permitted use table to add a new line item for biohazard waste, biological waste, and hazardous waste. Delete section 4-6-13 and replace, amend the requirements for the UPUD zoning district and for other purposes. Andrew?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. As you may recall from the February 2nd meeting, Ethan Calhoun gave us an overview of the Planning Commission items, including this text amendment that was proposed for the UZO. What this does, as Ethan shared a couple of weeks ago, the current and existing UZO did not contemplate a lot of the uses. And so the proposal, as you've read out, includes adding definitions for the following uses: biohazard waste, biological waste, data center, hazardous waste. And then it inserts this new code section that describes that the biological waste, biohazard waste, and hazardous waste facilities are permitted as a special use only in the M1 and M2 districts, in addition to the fact that they will conform to all the local, state, and federal regulations. So previously, as I say, some of those uses were not identified in the zoning ordinance, so this seeks to clear that up and also to clear up the fact that in addition to zoning, they must also have a special use, with an exception to the data center. As you might recall from Ethan's presentation a couple of weeks ago, the data center designation is allowed in the M2 district without a special use permit. And that was how the Planning Commission approved it when they considered it, I guess, back in December or January. So we've corrected that in the ordinance draft. Additionally, that was the first part of the text amendment. The second part was to do with the UPUD district changes. As Ethan shared a couple of weeks ago, we, in the city, a lot of our new development is going to be redevelopment, and we've learned a lot from other communities through various initiatives like the South Hamilton infill project, when we toured other communities where they've had to make use of smaller land areas to produce affordable but high quality development. A concept was proposed whereby this green space amendment would allow for lots to be subdivided off of a common green space. Ethan provided a comprehensive overview, and as I shared a couple weeks ago, the biggest difference is the fact that currently our zoning ordinance requires you have to have 50 foot of public road frontage. So that would require each individual person to have a driveway and their own parking. This would allow only within the UPUD district in the city to propose the common green space layout, whereby shared parking would also exist. And it just allows the city to consider from various builders and developers a new design technique to keep those costs down so that they can deliver units that are of high quality but still affordable. And this came, all of these text amendments came with a positive unanimous recommendation from the Planning Commission.
Questions or comments of Andrew?
Has the county passed this already?
I'm not sure, but this will require approval by the county and Barnell. I'm just not sure if they've taken it up yet. Anna is here. She may know if the county's taken it up.
Just curious. Yeah. I make a motion, we approve the
We have a motion,
second.
a second. Is there any discussion? If not, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All right, item number 4, second reading ordinance 26-04, the request of Viviana Ramirez to rezone from general commercial C2 to medium density single-family residential R3, a tract of land totaling 0.33 acres located at 409 South Spencer Street, Dalton, Georgia, parcel 12-238-19-002. Thank you for being here tonight, Mr. Ramirez. All right, Andrew.
Thank you, Mayor. As Ethan shared also on this one, it received a positive unanimous recommendation from the Planning Commission to rezone the tract at 409 South Spencer from C2 to medium density, single family residential, which we know is R3. And as Ethan shared a couple of weeks ago, there in this vicinity, there are already several residential properties, some of which are zoned R5. And so both the staff and the Planning Commission felt like the R3 rezoning would be consistent with the development nearby. And as Ethan shared, the petitioner has stated that they intend for this to serve as their primary residence. And with that, the Planning Commission gave a positive recommendation to move forward.
All right, comments?
I move we approve.
All right, I have a motion to approve.
Second.
I have a second. Is there any discussion? If not, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, thank you. Under new business, amendment to service agreement between Dalton Police Department and Flock Group, Inc. Chief Kason?
All right, this is a amendment to the service agreement that we currently have with Flock. It would be for the addition of 3 additional Flock cameras to the contract that we currently have. It has been forwarded to the city attorney for review to make sure it was in compliance with all applicable laws. The new cameras would help us cover the remaining entryways that we were trying to cover for the city of Dalton. We'd be adding on Morris Street, Doug Gap Road, as well as Veterans Drive. We've had very good success utilizing these cameras to solve crimes. One of the most recent ones, just to show how significant an impact it makes, was the homicide that we experienced back in January. We were able to put the suspect vehicle into Flock within just a short period of time, being notified of the arson and homicide. And that vehicle was subsequently identified in Kentucky and engaged by the Kentucky State Police. So it is a wonderful tool for law enforcement. It's not used for surveillance. It's used for after the fact for crime, investigative links and things of that nature. So if you have any questions, I'll try to answer them for you, but otherwise I submit it for your approval.
All right, are there any questions or comments on this item?
Savannah Guthrie probably wishes they had some of these out in Arizona.
It is something that has really taken off in the last decade, Flock cameras. And if they'd had a camera of this nature all the way out near the Guthries, if that vehicle had showed up in Dalton, if they had a suspect vehicle, we would actually get alert from our cameras and any of the other cameras that's passed through. So it doesn't just solve crimes here. It allows us to take people into custody from other places when they come into this area, so we're able to identify the vehicle. So it's a wonderful tool.
Questions or comments?
Move we approve. Second.
A second. Is there any discussion? If not, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you, Chief. Item number 6, airport hangar contract extension for Integrated Builds LLC. Andrew?
Thank you, Madam Mayor and Council. I just have a final extension of contract for the Integrated Builds LLC contract on the hangar project at the airport. We are extending an additional 53 calendar days due to some additional work that was required and some weather delays that we ran into. Happy to answer any questions on it.
All right. Questions or comments on this item? Not, I'll entertain a motion.
So move. Second.
I have a motion, I have a second. Is there any discussion? If not, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thanks, Andrew.
Thank you.
All right, there's no other business before this body. No announcements that I'm aware of. I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So move. Second.
I have a motion, I have a second. Is there any discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? We are adjourned. Thank you all for coming.